Without a doubt, Kratos is one of the strongest characters in all of fiction.
No shit.
Alongside characters like Bayonetta, Dante, Virgil, Ashura, and Doomguy. The last time I made a video pairing up Kratos with the demons from Doom was all the way back in 2019, more than 3 years ago. And now that Doom Eternal and God of War Ragnarok have come out, I find it unacceptable that I haven't touched upon this topic again. So let's do it. Before we start, I will kindly ask you to leave a like, and if this video reaches 10,000 likes, I'll beat God of War Ragnarok without using any weapons. With that being said, sit down, grab some water, and let's dive straight into hell. Have you ever wondered what Kratos drinks when he gets out of bed? You guessed it, gamer subs. Use code MIDNIGHT to become the God of War. Thank you. Before I begin, let me say this for the 1000th time. Gameplay mechanics in any game do not always coincide with the lore of said game, and in the case of God of War, that is exactly the case. In gameplay, Kratos moves like any other battle-hardened soldier with years of experience, but is vulnerable and can't even die at the hand of Cannon Fodder, monsters that do not even stand a chance to boy. Yet, in the lore, Kratos is the mother-freaking God of War. He was able to hunt down and kill Hermes, a Greek god that is able to run at supersonic speeds, which are around 1200 kilometers per hour. Kratos was able to react to the light emitted by Helios, giving him godlike reaction time. Kratos was able to lift the Tyr's temple that holds the weight of all 9 realms of the Yggdrasil, and was able to push this bridge on God of War, which according to Cory Barlog had a weight of over 1 million kilograms. In other words, Kratos is completely broken, and there's a reason why no god has been able to beat him, let alone kill him. Now, could Kratos survive or even beat Doom Eternal? Let's find out. I'm going to be completely honest, there's just no way Kratos could beat Doom Eternal the way Doomguy did.
What?
Sure, he could stomp any demon, any titan, the con maker, the icon of sin, the spider mastermind, etc. Yet, Kratos has one small flaw. His equipment. It doesn't matter how powerful and how strong Kratos is, he is not invulnerable to the laws of physics and how the human body works. For example, there's just no way Kratos could survive in the vacuum of space like Doomguy did. Hence, Kratos would never have the chance to go to the Mars city of Hebeth, use its slipgate to enter Sentinel Prime, and kill Dick Graf, stopping the hellish ritual to consume the Earth into hell for good. We have seen Kratos travel to several different dimensions on God of War, but as far as I know, oxygen exists in all of them. In God of War Ragnarok, Atreus almost drowns in the Lake of Soul. If a god like Atreus, which is Kratos' son, can drown, what permits Kratos from doing otherwise? In God of War 3, Kratos obtains Poseidon's trident, a relic which lets him breathe underwater indefinitely without drowning. This lets us know that if Kratos didn't have the trident, he would drown, and that is the case in God of War, as Kratos states that ever since the Greek pantheon was destroyed, he is now unable to recall the Greek magic he once possessed. I'm saying all of this because a lot of people misunderstand the immortality Kratos possesses. In Chains of Olympus, the queen of the underworld Persephone curses Kratos to forever walk on the mortal plane.
Your suffering will never end, Ghost of Sparta.
Meaning that even if Kratos dies, he will never find a certain death. Somehow, the primordial forces of the universe known as fate will bring Kratos back to the land of the mortals. We have seen that happen several times throughout the entirety of the series, with the last one happening in God of War Ragnarok. In the fight between Thor and Kratos, Thor managed to kill the God of War. Yet, for some reason, Thor was unsatisfied with the performance performance given by the ghost of Sparta and brought Kratos back to life. As long as the curse of Persephone remains, Kratos will never rest in peace, as fate will literally deny Kratos ever died. Now that we have established Kratos' immortality and how fate controls it, could he survive and defeat Doom's Hell dimension? I mean, if Doomguy can do it, a character that has arguably the same levels of strength and power as the God of War, then that means Kratos can do it too. Right? Well, after playing through God of War Ragnarok, something about Kratos is made crystal clear. He, the God of War, is getting weaker as the days go by. And I do not mean that in a physical sense, as it has been stated by the developers of the game that the gods of the Olympus get stronger as they get older, meaning that Kratos is leagues stronger compared to his old Greek self. What I meant is that Kratos' mental fortitude is poisoning his mind and body. For the first time ever, Kratos showed clear signs of physical degradation and mental exhaustion, so much so that at one point in the game, Kratos, the unstoppable monster, the battle-hardened Spartan general, the motherfucking God of War, defeatedly goes to sleep. Greek Kratos would have never done something like that. It didn't matter what he was going through at the time, his rage would fuel his anger and give him the drive to continue his campaign. So, why? Why does Kratos seem so much weaker than his younger self? Well, the answer is quite simple. Boy. For the sake of his son, Kratos is holding back pretty much 99% of his power all the time. He doesn't want his son to see what it means to be the God of War, and even more, Kratos is tormented by the rage and anger he is trying so hard to control, as he is afraid he will be consumed by his past self and never be able to regain control of his emotions once again. This is the reason why Kratos has taught Atreus the art of controlling your emotions and building focus. Another example as to why Kratos is getting weaker is how in God of War, Atreus gets ill because he doesn't know about his true godly nature. It got to a point where he almost died. The same thing is happening to Kratos in Ragnarok. He is trying so hard to submit his true self because of how petrified he is on becoming a monster once again, and that is poisoning his body. It doesn't matter how physically strong you are, if you are mentally exhausted, you will feel weak, incompetent, shaken, uninspired, and ultimately physically incapable. All of this is the result of his extremely noticeable trauma. Ever since Kratos mistakenly killed his wife and daughter in the original God of War, he hasn't had a single chance to sleep deeply. Kratos, in all of his wisdom and calm nature, is tormented by the actions he did hundreds of years ago. Actions that turn into nightmares every time he tries to sleep. And it is made even more apparent in the comic God of War Fallen Gods, which tells the tale of how Kratos went from Greece to Midgard. In this story, it is shown how agonizing Kratos' past actions are for him, yet in all of Kratos' fashion, he makes an oath on overcoming this seemingly impossible deed, and well, impossible it was. The curse placed by Persephone and the curse of being bound to the blades of chaos were too much for him to handle. In order to stay away from the blades, he went literal years without catching a single nap. In turn, this made Kratos go insane, as the one time he accidentally went to sleep, his curse, the Blades of Chaos, spawned right in front of him. Kratos' trauma is reinforced with the birth of Boy and the death of Faye. Kratos is committed on teaching his son how to be a good man and God, and by doing so, he tries even harder on holding back. The only moment where Kratos reverts back to his old self is when Atreus is on immediate danger, and by that I mean certain death. That is the only moment where Kratos is able to unleash the God of War, yet still he is never happy about the fact. Not a single bit.
This isn't who you want to be!
In the lore of Doom, Hell is considered a living, sentient being with a mind of its own. The only way to enter or get out of Hell is by breaking space and time, in other words, creating a slipgate. As such, Hell stretches to infinity. It will never end. The more you try to escape it by just heading a certain direction, the more demons you will encounter. Hell is the origin of the multiverse in Doom. Every dimension or universe is unmistakably connected to Hell. As such, the infinite amount of different dimensions and universes that have been consumed by the hellish dimension have made Hell and its forces even stronger over time. Most of the demons encountered in Hell were not born in it, but were assimilated by it, such as the Gargoyles, which originated in Argent-D'Honneur, or the Agadon Hunters, which originated on the Earth. Thanks to that, Hell has an unimaginable amount of demons at its disposal. Demons that are able to level entire cities just by walking, and others being able to consume entire dimensions and worlds just by existing. Yet, there's not a single demon that stands a chance against Kratos, even if demons like the Baron of Hell, Hell Knight, or the Cyber Demon are able to withstand several rockets to the face without dying. And yet, the Titans of Hell are even stronger. In the Codex, it is stated that not even humanity's most advanced and powerful weaponry could drop to its knees even one of these monsters. The Titans of Hell are the sole reason why entire cities on the Earth were left unrecognizable. But Kratos' strength cannot be compared to mere guns. With his own physical power, Kratos has been able to overpower the mighty titans such as Kronos and Atlas, which are titans that are arguably bigger in size and even stronger as the titans from Hell, as both Kronos and Atlas are primordial entities of godlike power. Kronos created the concept of time, and Atlas has been holding the weight of the entire world for hundreds of years. With that being said, Kratos stands at the very top of the food chain of Hell. If he was to set foot on the hellish dimension, he will, without a doubt, become the apex predator of it. Yet, even if Kratos could stand at the very top, just surviving to Hell's incredibly nightmarish land is another story. Even if Kratos is a god, he is susceptible to injury and fatigue. He has demonstrated that he has the might to stay awake for years, yet, eventually, he will succumb to the fatigue and his injuries. As it has been stated by the developers of the game, even if Kratos is one, if not the strongest and most powerful god in this universe, he is still a human with human needs. He needs to sleep, he needs to eat, he needs to drink water to survive. So, unless Kratos has a way to escape Hell, there's just no way he could survive inside of it for an infinite amount of time. Also, Kratos has shown time and time again that he is susceptible to mind manipulation and corruption, as he is still tormented by his past actions. In that regard, he would also fall in the corruption of the Dark Lord's whispers. We have seen this happening in God of War, as how Helheim showed Kratos the actions he very much regrets, actions that still weigh him down to this day. And so, could current Kratos survive in Doom's Hell? As it stands now, I doubt it. He is just too mentally unstable, and he is physically vulnerable to Hell's infinite numbers. Yet, if Atreus didn't exist, and if he still had the mindset from God of War 3 with his current strength, I can very much say that no one in Hell will survive. But well, that's not the case. But hey, that is just my opinion, my friends. If you think otherwise and believe that Kratos would outright stomp Hell, let me know why down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video and have an awesome day. Stay safe. Adios. Bye.